Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Dawnless Days campaign map modding tutorials. For those of you new to this, the Dawnless Days project is an enormous mod for Attila Total War based on Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and the mod is going to include, drumroll please, a brand new campaign map of Middle-earth. That's right folks, the campaign map can now be modded and we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Now the campaign map is basically split into two main factors. There's the visual side where you can change the look of the map, and then there's the logic side where the Total War system will actually understand the changes you've made to the visual side. In episode 1 and 2, we're going to be looking at changing the visual side of the map. In episode 3, we're going to be showing you how to use the new Kami tool that's soon to be released to make your visual changes understood by Total War in-game. Now a quick disclaimer. The method here is particular to Attila Total War and Thrones of Britannia. There's some slight changes between the two, but I'll walk you through them as we go. It'll be a similar method to the games that come after Thrones, but we'll do more episodes on them at a later date. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is make sure you have a brand spanking new install of Attila Total War assembly kit. You can find this on Steam in your library if you go to the wee bar at the top that says Games, click on that and then select the checkbox for Tools in the drop down menu. Then you're going to want to scroll down until you find Total War Attila Assembly Kit Beta. Click on that and then where it says Launch on my screen you'll want to select Install. This is obviously because I already have it installed, so crack on and install that. Now once the assembly kit's installed, you'll want to right click on it in your Steam library and then select the Properties option. Now a wee box is going to appear, and in the General tab on the left, you're going to want to make your first change here. In the grey bar below Launch Options, you're going to want to type -debug. No space after the dash. Don't ask me why you need to do this, just do it. Next up, you'll need to click the DLC tab on the left. Here you're going to see Total War Attila Assembly Kit Terrain Pack. It's already installed for me, but if you don't have it, click the wee checkbox to install and then go and have a cup of tea and a biscuit because it's going to take a while. It's a big download. Okay, now that that's installed, you'll want to find your way to your Total War Attila files. This is usually found at this location on screen, unless you've told Steam to install your games elsewhere. So find that. And once you're in the main Total War Attila folder, and you've installed the assembly kit, you'll see a folder called, coincidentally enough, Assembly Kit. So let's go in there. Now there's a fair number of changes we need to make in here to get you set up for modding the campaign map. So firstly, go into the raw data folder, then into the folder called Terrain, and then into the folder called Campaigns. Now you may or may not have a file in here called rules.bob. It doesn't matter because we're going to put a new file in here and replace it anyways. In order to get that file and the other files you're going to need to add in, you'll have to go to the Dawnless Days Discord. You'll find a link to that in the description of this video. The Discord channel is a useful place to visit. Not only is there plenty of information and discussion about the Dawnless Days mod, but therein also lies various tutorials and most importantly right now, the files we need. So once you're on the Discord page, you'll want to scroll down the various threads on the left until you see Guides and Tutorials. This is in the mod related subsection. Click on Guides and Tutorials and the first post we want to go into is one written by the campaign map modding guru JustLeo, and it's called Editing and Processing Tile Map 101. If you scroll down just a smidge, you'll see a couple of files called rules.bob that JustLeo has kindly put in here for us to download. As you can see, the first one is for your raw data /terrain /campaigns folder. So let's download that one first. Once that one's downloaded, leave the Dawnless Days Discord open. We're going to come back here soon. For now, you're going to want to copy paste or drag and drop your new rules.bob file into the folder we were just in. If there was no rules.bob file in here before, then just slot the new one in. If there was one, replace it with this new version. Great stuff. Now that that is done, and while we're here, make a copy of the main underscore Attila underscore map folder and just paste it straight back in here as a copy. This is going to be our backup in case we do anything wrong. We need to go back to the original. Let's name it something easy like main underscore Attila underscore map 1. Lovely jubbly. Next up, we're going to head back one folder into the terrain folder, still in the raw data section. Now we're going to go into the folder called battles. There's a lot going on in here, but we're just going to do the same thing we did in the campaigns folder. You can see I've already done it, but what we need to do is copy and paste the main underscore Attila underscore map folder, rename that copy main underscore Attila underscore map 1, and there's our backup. Then let's head back into the Dawnless Days Discord channel and let's download the second rules.bob file that has been made for the battles folder. Again, leave the Dawnless Days Discord open. Once that is downloaded, copy and paste or drag and drop it into your battles folder. Replace the previous rules.bob file. Okay, we're almost done setting up. Let's go back into the assembly kit folder. And at the top of this one, you should see a folder called Binaries. Now pay attention here. If you're using Thrones of Britannia, you do not need to edit or change the Binaries folder. This just stays the same. If you're using Attila, then you will need to do this bit. We're going to rename this folder, and to keep things simple, we're just going to add the name Bob onto the end of Binaries. Binaries Bob. There we go. Now you want to head back into the tutorials on the Dawnless Days Discord channel. This time, rather than going into editing and processing tilemap 101, we're going to go into the tilemap settlement processing tutorial that's been put there by Fingus McNippleson. Majestic name. Now in here, starting from the top, scroll down just a wee bit until you find the download link for binaries.rar. That's binaries.rar. Download that file. Okay, once that's downloaded, you need to move that into your assembly kit folder. Then you're going to want to extract it. It's a zipped file, so right click on it and using something like 7-zip or WinZip, we want to extract the contents of this folder here. And voila, a new binaries folder has appeared. You can now delete the old binaries.rar file. And that is now the assembly kit set up for some fun to begin. Now for this next stage, we need to get a couple of tools. All of them will be linked in the description. The first is a pack file manager for Total War. I'm using Rusted Pack File Manager. Get it downloaded from the link below, it is free. The second is an image editing software, like Photoshop. For those of you who don't have Photoshop because it isn't free, you can also use the eloquently named program called GIMP. Again, we'll stick a link to that below. Right, let's get to it. Let's head back into the raw data folder, and then into the terrain folder, and then into the campaigns folder. And this time, we're going to want to go into the original main underscore Attila map folder. In here, you'll see a few interesting files, but for this episode, we're going to start with the one called tile underscore map. It's a PNG file. We're going to want to open this with Photoshop if you have it, or with GIMP. Either will work. I'm going with Photoshop for just now. When it opens, you'll see this. You can zoom in and take a closer look. This is a map that is made up of tiny wee tiles that Total War reads in order to create the campaign map, or at least the visual campaign map. Now don't just start going crazy, because there are rules in here and we need to just be very particular about how you edit it. You can start to see how it's made up of things like rivers, roads, mountains, various other ground types. We're just going to focus on mountains today. So let's find a part of the map that we want to work on. I'm going to head over to this fantastic wee country called Scotland. You can find that in the top left of the map, but you know, you can work anywhere you want. Now that we're here, we're going to open another program as a guide. So keep your image editor open and go back to your Attila assembly kit folder. Now you're back in here, let's go into the new folder, the one that's just called Binaries, not Binaries Bob, just Binaries. In here you want to scroll down until you see tweak assemblykit.exe. Double click on that to open it. Okay, once this is opened, go to Tools in the top left corner and click on Terry. Once Terry has opened, go to File in the top left corner and click Open. Now the file you're going to want to open is the same main_Attila_map folder that's in your raw data section of the assembly kit. The file in particular is called main_Attila_map.terry. Open that and click OK when the wee pop-up appears, and then give it a wee while to load. Now you'll see what looks like some marshmallows squished together. If you don't see the tile map on the right hand side and you want to see it, you can go up to View in the top left and select Tile Map. Now if you zoom in using your mouse wheel, you'll realize that what we're looking at here is the Attila campaign map without things like settlements and trees. So have a browse around if you want, and then head up to Scotland again in the top left of the screen. Quick tip, if you hold down the Alt key while pushing in your mouse wheel, you can change the angle of your view. Okay, now that we're in Scotland, you can see some lovely mountains in the Highlands, but there isn't much going on where mountains should be in the south of Scotland, just some horses eating grass. If you go back into your tile map in the image editor that you're using, you can start to see what mountains look like in the tile map in comparison to what they look like on the real campaign map. To keep things simple, Total War is just seeing a specific collection of squares and a specific color, and it will read that as a particular feature, landscape part, or in this case a mountain. So it sees that particular collection, it says, ah yes, this exact shape of squares in this color means this mountain, I'll put this mountain there. So when you want to create a new mountain, at least until we get deeper into these tutorials, you'll have to copy an exact mountain and place it where you want another one to appear on the tile map. So I like the look of this one. You can see it here on the map in Terry. So I'm going to make a copy of this one. Let's head back into Photoshop or GIMP and using the magic wand tool, select your mountain. If it seems like you're selecting more than one mountain, check the tolerance of your magic wand tool is set to 1 up at the top of the screen. Now, select the mountain, make a copy by right-clicking and choosing Layer via Copy. Then you can choose the Move tool and click and drag your mountain to its new location, for me in the southwest of Scotland. Looks a little lonely there, so I'm going to bring another mountain down as well. Be very careful though, you don't want your mountains to overlap because that will change the particular number of squares that is needed for the game to read that mountain. So for me here, I'm just going to butt them up right next to each other. And that's done. Okay, so once you're done with that, I'm going to go down to the layers part, shift click them all together and right click and then merge them into one layer. Now it's time to save. For me, the process only works if I'm sure to go to Image at the top of the menu, then into Mode and select 32 bits channel before saving. I don't have to do this when I'm in GIMP. Once that's done, I can go to File, Export, then Export As. In the options to export, make sure you have PNG selected. We don't need transparency. And then you can just crack right on down to the bottom and select Export. You want to simply replace the original tile_map PNG, the one that you opened in Photoshop in the first place. So select it, click Save, and click OK to replace it. Now you can close Photoshop, and you can close tweak/Terry. It's time for Bob. Go back to your main assembly kit folder, and this time go into the folder we renamed, now known as Binaries Bob. Once in Binaries Bob, near the top, you want to open bobassemblikit.exe. Sit back and relax, this will probably take a little while to load again. Now that Bob's open, go into the raw data column on the left and look for a folder called terrain. There's a wee plus button just on the left of terrain. Click on that and another set of folders should appear. Then we want to select campaigns, so click on the little plus sign next to campaigns and some more stuff appears. Now you'll see the folders that we have in our raw data folders. So you've got the main underscore Attila underscore map folder, the original one, and we have the backup, the main underscore Attila underscore map 1. So we're interested in the main underscore Attila underscore map folder. So what you need to do is to right click on that folder and select view actions. Now when you click that, a little box is going to appear in the middle of the screen with some options in the bottom section of it called consumer actions. The action we're looking for is called terrain/tile map. What you're going to want to do is click the little checkbox on the left of terrain/tile map. Then you can exit this little pop-up just by clicking the X in the corner. Okay, now that that's done, all you need to do is go to the bottom right hand side of Bob and click start. Again, you're probably going to want to go and pour yourself a dram of whiskey or something because this is going to take a wee while to load. So let's skip forward a wee bit. Okay, once it's complete, you'll see this green bar has appeared at the bottom. You can see up in the top left, the folder called terrain is also green. Everything's fine. You can click exit to get out of there. Next up, what we're going to do is find our pack file manager, the one we spoke about earlier. I'm using Rusted Pack File Manager. Again, the download link is in the description. So I need to go into Rusted Pack File Manager and scroll down until I see rpfm_ui.exe. I'm going to click on that. Just quickly check that I've got the correct game selected by clicking game selected and making sure I've got Attila. Now next up, what we want to do is click on pack file in the top left. Then you want to click new pack file. Now we need a terrain folder in this new pack file. So you want to right click on unknown.pack. Then you want to click on create and then create folder. We need to rename this folder terrain, so T-E-R-R-A-I-N. Write it in, then click the box saying new folder. Okay, now we need to add another folder to the terrain folder. So click on terrain, right click, go to add, then add folder. Now the folder we are looking for here isn't in your usual raw data section in the assembly kit. Now the folder we want to add here isn't in the raw data section we've been working in so far. So you need to go back to the assembly kit folder. In here, look down at the bottom, you'll see a folder called working_data. You want to go in there. In here, you'll see a folder called terrain. Double click on that. And there you see another campaigns folder. You just want to single click on that and then go to the bottom right and select folder. This will bring all your nice new campaign files in here in the campaigns folder, and that's it done. So what you want to do is go up to the top left, select pack file, and then save pack file as. Now we want to save this in the Total War Attila data folder. So in the Total War Attila file, click on data, go in there. We want to name our pack file something. I'm just going to name mine Scotland1.pack. And then go down to the bottom right and click save. One last important thing that I actually just forgot there that we can still do while we're here is go back up to pack file in the top left, head down to where you see change pack file type, and you'll see that at the moment it's set to mod. We want to change that to movie. Again, don't ask me why, just do that. Now if you're working on Thrones of Britannia here, you want to right click on this folder that for you will be called Vic_Attila_map. You want to right click on that, then go to create, then go to new folder. Now the new folder we're going to create here is called global_map. Now that you've made that, right click on global_map, go to add and go to add file. Now you're going to go back to your working data, terrain, campaigns, vic_attila_map, and you're going to add terrain.tile_list to this folder. Yes, it's already in the other folder, don't worry about that, it needs to be in both of these. Then hit save, that's you done. Once you've selected movie, go to pack file and then save pack file. Now it's saved as a movie pack file, you can exit pack file manager. And there you see our Scotland 1 pack is in our data folder. Excellent. So as soon as that movie pack file is in your data folder, we can head back into the assembly kit folder, into our new just binaries folder, head down to tweak assemblykit.exe, open that up, go to tools, open up Terry, go to file, click open, and find the same main_Attila_map Terry file that we opened earlier. It's the one in the raw data folder. Select that and open it. Click OK on the pop-up, and again the map has suddenly appeared. Let's go take a look at Scotland. Let's zoom in. And there you go. 2 mountains now appeared in the southwest of Scotland. Let's change our angle a little bit to take another look at them. And there they are, looking majestic. You can also see on the right hand side, if you zoom in, the tiles that you've pushed into the tile map. There you can see my 2 mountains sitting next to each other. Okay, so let's take a look and see if it works in game. Let's launch up Attila Total War. I'm just going to show you here, I'm going to click on my mod manager. I've not got any mods installed right now. I just have the Scotland 1.pack file in the Attila Total War data folder. It's saved as a movie file, so it won't appear in your mod manager. You just need to go ahead and click play. So you're going to want to start a new campaign. We're going to want to find somebody who is in Scotland, so the Caledonians in the south of Scotland. Perfect, let's start the campaign. So your mountains are now in the south of Scotland, but it's important to remember the game doesn't know they're in the south of Scotland. All we're seeing at the moment is the visual campaign map. If I took my general up there in the Eildons and marched him down, he would walk through these mountains just like they were a ghost. So the new KME tools that are going to come out soon, they are going to allow you to tell the game there are mountains here, and the game will understand that, meaning you can officially now change the campaign map properly. So that will be in episode 3. But in episode 2, what we're going to focus on is telling the game if you have a battle near these 2 mountains, you want mountains to appear where they should. So look forward to seeing you there. Hope you enjoyed yourselves today, and hope you're excited to get modding this campaign map.